Ahoy, mateys! There be treasure here somewhere, and I intend to find it. So join us in locating said booty by following bad maps.
Wow. All that walking around looks positively exhausting. I say we watch from a safe distance. Ooh, maybe place some wagers. First, let's get everything set up. For the basic game, start with this side of the board. It has pits and minion start spaces. Place the 4 minion tokens on their start spaces. They'll handle the dirty work. Take the objective cards and remove any numbers higher than the number of players from decks 1 and 2. Shuffle them separately and set them out. Also, shuffle the blackout cards. Check these for player count numbers also. Place the first mate token, the pit tokens, and the spyglass tokens nearby, but set aside the minion start tokens for your first game. Each player picks a captain and takes the captain board, which you'll place basic side up for your first game, as well as the 9 matching cards. Everybody starts with 1 spyglass token with its unbroken side face up. If you have the deluxe edition, the tokens will be coins instead. Now, pick the first player, and they get the first mate token. Here's the round summary.
Land ho!
Reveal the top card of the blackout deck. These have spaces which correspond with the spaces in front of each minion. The white spaces mean cards placed there will be face up. The black spaces will be face down. Now, deal each player 4 cards from the current objectives deck, starting with round 1, obviously. You'll be betting on outcomes based on these cards. They predict the possible outcomes for the minions. Each card says that a specific color minion might be in either first or second, or last place. Each captain will choose one of these to discard. Whenever possible, toss the long shots.
Make maps.
Starting with the first player, each captain places a card on the leftmost available slot on any minion. Place them face up or face down, according to the blackout card. After the first card is placed, mark it with your first mate marker, so you'll remember where you started. Check your objective cards for your strategy. If you need a particular minion in first place, focus on getting them as close to the X as possible. If you need a particular minion in last place, turn them around, send them the wrong way, do your worst. This is also when you can use your captain's ability. In the basic version of the game, all captains have the same ability. To use it, flip the spyglass token to its broken side. Once all the slots are filled, discard a second objective card. You should have an idea of which minions will have a better chance to succeed by now, and which ones, well, ahem.
Hunt for treasure.
In this round, starting with the card marked with the first mate token, flip or activate the leftmost card on each minion and go around the board until all cards have been resolved. Move the map cards back slightly off the board so you'll remember which ones have been activated. If the card has a direction, then rotate the minion to the indicated facing. If they're already facing that way, just ignore it. If the card has a move action, then move that minion that many spaces in the indicated direction. It could be forward or backward. So check the arrows. The problem with these minions is that they're too distracted by what they're doing to pay attention. So here's a few things that may happen. If a minion walks into the sea, move them back to their start space, facing the appropriate way. If they fall into a pit, same thing. If there's a dirt wall, they stop moving. And if they hit another minion, they'll just push them along. Now that minion gets to worry about pits and walls and stuff. If a minion is sent back to its start space, only to find another minion there for some reason, give it a push according to the returning minion's starting direction. Finally, it's time to determine the minion's ranking. Count how many squares it would take for each minion to reach the X. The closest is first, the furthest is last. Any ties are shared, meaning there could be 2 first places, or second places, or whichever. All players reveal any correct objective cards and places them nearby. These will determine your score at the end of the game. Any minions on their own start spaces are disqualified, and each player can only complete 1 objective card per minion this round. Which brings us to...
End of round.
Well, you've made it this far. Congratulations, matey. At the end of the first round, place a pit under each minion to show where they dug for treasure, except for the X or any start spaces. Everyone gets their cards back and flips their spyglass tokens face up to their ready side. The player with the fewest points gets another spyglass token, as well as the first mate token, to get things started next time. Now go back to the land ho phase and do it all again, but this time with the round 2 objective cards. When round 2 ends, check the points on your objectives to see who won. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? This game can be played seriously, really trying to control the course of the minions, which isn't very likely. Or you can just wildly place cards and see what happens. No matter how much thought you put into it, the minions are still likely to start colliding like wind-up toys.
More like Blind Man's Bluff.
Or bumper cars.
Or that movie Yellowbeard. He had to remember where he buried his treasure by going crawl, stumble, stumble.
But it's not always about finding the X.
Stumble,
You just play the odds and hope things work out for the minions you favor.
Aye, there really is no control here. You'll find yourself in a tug-of-war with your fellow captains over a minion quite often, each programming them in the opposite direction. Just go with it. Despite running into walls, falling into pits, fighting your way through angry villagers.
When did that happen?
It was a long walk home. The point is, despite all of that, it's a pretty fun game. And it can be rigged for a 2-player game via a dummy deck. It's all in the back.
If you like giving orders to underlings and betting on the results without getting your hands dirty, then you may like this one.
Well, that's all the time we've got for this Pirates Parley.
Take the time to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And have a look at our Patreon, where our finest patrons are treated to all kinds of exclusive, advanced sneak peeks.
And behind-the-scenes goodies.
But until we meet again, and before you go out hunting booty, we'd like to say, not all treasure is silver and gold, mate. Sometimes it's spiced.